work their way through the gearbox down towards KFM corner. It looks like Ronald Slamet might have the whole shot. No, but Snyman forces him out and McFadden goes up on the inside. McFadden slots up into second place now, up behind Q and Snyman. They make their way up towards G&G corner. Late on the brakes goes Snyman, followed there by McFadden and Slamet. It looks like Jared Schultz has rolled up into P4 and he's 600. And behind him there it is Malcolm Rapson and Brett Roberts as they make their way through the kink down towards Dams.
Right, Ackerman is the next man in there behind Roberts. That's Jock Ackerman out of turn 3, Damstip. They work their way slightly uphill the KFM straight into turn 4, Car Care Clinic corner. Out of turn 4, down the back main they go now. All guns blazing, flat box, through the gearbox they go. As they squirted down the back main, and it's Snyman that leads them down the back straight, but there's a hell of a fight there for that second and third place between McFadden and Slamet as they work their way front out of turn 5, Foster on corner.
McFadden having up a look on the inside there of Q and Snyman. Snyman's up for it though, he rolls out. He takes the lead as they come up towards the line. It's a lot closer this time round. Slamet, it's Snyman, it's McFadden and Slamet's in there. Jared Schultz was the 600, is doing exceptionally well as they work their way through KFM corner now. Up the Uber straight, and this time McFadden's a little bit closer to Snyman. He looks up on the inside. Snyman late on the brakes. Nice to see Slamet sitting there with him. Slamet a lot fitter this time round as he sits up behind McFadden. It's a three-way tussle and Slamet gets excellent drive coming out of G&G corner on the back wheel through the kink. Are you for real? As he make their way now into Dams, and those three are still nose to tail.
Well, it's a hell of a fight coming out of turn 3, out of Damstip, working their way up the KFM straight into turn 4, Car Care Clinic. It's a massive dice for P1, 2 and 3. Out of turn 4, down the back main they go now, and Snyman is trying to get away. Here comes Slamet. Slamet sits up right there with McFadden, but McFadden's going for the lead. Has he got the lead? No. It is Snyman that dives across the bows there of McFadden, with Slamet sitting out there in P3. Behind them is the leader of the 600s. That's Jared Schultz, P1 in class in P4, on track as the 4 front down into turn 1. Behind them, it is Malcolm Rapson. Rapson on the case there of Schultz, and Rapson sits P1 in the Masters.
Lovely to see the young man Jared Schultz there in P4 on a 600, mixing it up with the liter bikes. And once again, McFadden sitting up there behind Snyman. Q and Snyman really muscling that bike into the corners there. Great stuff. Slamet exceptionally close to the back end of McFadden. This is lovely to see these three guys tussle it out. They almost want to be side by side going into Dams, and Slamet goes right up on the inside of McFadden. It is stupendously close. Stupendously close as they make their way up towards Car Care Clinic corner. It's 1, 2, 3. They come out of Car Care Clinic corner now. Look towards the back straight. They are exceptionally close now. There they go, and once again McFadden trying to draft Snyman down towards Foster on corner, and Slamet is drafting McFadden. McFadden leg out, looks up on the inside, but look at Snyman, absolute demon on the brakes there, works his way out of Foster on corner.
This is absolute insane. This is 3 of the best of the very best you're going to get your hands on, and here comes Snyman. He's been mugged there by Dave McFadden, but all of a sudden Ronald Slamet has come to the party. Will he shove it up on the inside of McFlash? No, he doesn't. He sits right in there behind him, but they are bogging each other down because getting closer to the 3 of them is Jared Schultz and Malcolm Rapson. They sit P4 and 5 out of turn 1, and they are closing in on the 3 leaders that are working their way out of turn 2. Out of G-Energy corner they go now. Well, the last event roundabout now, Slamet was left behind. Not this time. He is right on the case there of McFadden as they work their way out of turn 3. And Dave is all over the back wheel. Oh, look, pulling out under McFadden. There is Q and Snyman as they work their way out of turn 4.
Out of Car Care Clinic they come now, and it's going to be Q and Snyman who rolls out there in P1. McFadden is trying to close that. Slamet has got the best seat in the house there as he drafts. He goes up alongside McFadden. McFadden is exceptionally late on the brakes. He slides there behind Snyman. Right up on the inside, Snyman dives across his bow to close the door. They come out, Snyman still leading on a stock standard ZX10 as he leads out there with McFadden up behind him. Here they go. It's Snyman, McFadden and Slamet is doing very well, and here comes Jared Schultz together with Malcolm Rapson. Schultz on a 600, really driving out of the leagues.
And right behind him is the leader of the Masters, that's Malcolm Rapson, as they work their way out of turn 1, but the leaders working their way towards turn 2, G-Energy corner. Through G-Energy they go now. We have to stay with this dice because this is one of the closest dices for the lead we have had in a heck of a long time in the Suzuki South Regional Superbikes. McFadden closes in there on Snyman's back wheel as they work their way out of turn 3, Damstep. Working their way slightly uphill, up the KFM straight towards turn 4, Car Care Clinic corner. The man with the best seat in the house at this point in time is Ronald Slamet, that sits in that 3rd place. He's being pressurized by nobody as he has a go there at McFadden. Down the back main they go, but will McFlash have a go at Snyman? He does, but Snyman covers the line, working his way out of turn 5, Fostron.
Well, Q and Snyman really out of the top draw this morning, put his best t-shirt on, and I tell you what, he's rolling out in front, doing exceptionally well. And heading out ahead there of McFadden and Ronald Slamet sitting right there with him. As you will hear the bike sounds as they fly past the commentary tower down into turn number 1. Jared Schultz still leading out Malcolm Rapson. Schultz doing exceptionally well on that 600 as he goes into turn number 1. Now McFadden trying to close down on Snyman. Snyman takes a very late brake line into turn number 2, G-Energy corner. McFadden tries to sit with him. Slamet is still there. Ronald Slamet is still there with him. He doesn't want to lose them. Is that arm of his getting tired or is he hanging in there? He's still sitting there with him. He just needs to be up there, ain't he? Just a millisecond, and he'll be right there with him now as they exit turn number 3 up towards Car Care Clinic corner.
Well, I'll tell you what, Q and Snyman has got his work cut out. He's got Dave McFlash all over him as they exit turn 4. Working the way down the back Kalani straight towards turn 5. Here comes McFadden. And Q and Snyman, all he can do is try and place that bike and brake as late as he can, which he does. He's a master at braking late down into turn 5, into Fostron corner. Out of turn 5 they come once again, and it's still McFadden. When they cross the line, they have 4 laps to go. Heading down into turn 1, but don't right slam it off. Ronald Slamet's going to have a go somewhere. Surely he must lunge somewhere at McFadden. McFadden is going to go up on the inside as Snyman goes high, Snyman goes wide. Snyman makes a mistake and loses that lead to David McFadden.
Oh, Ronald Slamet's right up behind Snyman. Ronald Slamet really riding well today. Looking a lot stronger as he sits up behind Snyman. Will Snyman come back at McFadden? Will McFadden be able to get away? Those bikes are all pretty much on even keel. It's a Yamaha and 2 Kawasaki's up behind him now as they make their way through Damstep. KFM straight in front of them, making their way up towards Car Care Clinic corner. McFadden gets on the gas nice and early. It's a double right-hand twin apex corner as they work their way out of Car Care Clinic corner. Now down the back straight. McFadden gets on the gas nice and early. Snyman on the back wheel as he pursues him. And is there going to be a take? Going down. Snyman goes wide. Snyman's going to look to dive across McFadden. Is he going to do it? McFadden keeps the door closed as they go into Fostron corner. And going a little bit high, but look at Slamet hugging that corner as he looks to stay in touch with the lead.
Well, here they come now under the bridge, down the Porsche main straight, and up on the inside they go. And oh, what has happened out there? Up on the inside goes Q and Snyman, and boom, back into the lead goes Q, but he goes in very hot. Snyman goes in very hot and loses that lead once again out of turn 1 KFM to Dave McFadden. Well, he had a lunge up on the inside of McFadden and overcooked it going into turn number 1, and that gave that lead right back there to McFadden again as Snyman now has to pursue and go after him once again, and the two of them are slowly but surely beginning to break away there from Slamet.
Well, brilliant stuff there. Look at the leaderboard. McFadden leading out there with a 1 minute 12. They can do better times. There's a bit of wind around. Q and Snyman follows up behind him, followed by Ronald Slamet. P4 is Jared Schultz, first to the 600s. Leading out the first master, Malcolm Rapson, followed there by Jock Ackerman and Donnie Lecoq. Then Brett Roberts leads out over Jean-Baptiste Recapo, Willem Benedel, Jonathan Schwerin, and then bringing up the rear is Peter Haupt as the leaders make their way into Fostron corner.
Well, the leaders out of turn 5, out of Fostron corner, the three of them are right there with each other. There is absolutely nothing between McFadden, between Schultz, between Snyman and Slamet as they race down into turn number 1 KFM corner. Well, this time Cuban's not going to go high, he's not going to go wide, he covers that line very neatly out of turn 1 KFM. Dave McFadden sitting right there on his back wheel, and slowly but surely they're getting away there from a Slamit that sails in on their back wheels, under braking through turn 2, G-Energy. They work their way now through the kink and race down towards turn 3, Damstip.
Going into G-Energy corner now, Jared Schultz is absolutely stretched away from Malcolm Rapson, who leads out there over Jock Ackerman. Up behind Jacques Ackerman is Donovan Lecoq and Brett Roberts. Roberts sitting there with him. Roberts now ahead of Donnie Lecoq. So Brett Roberts starting to light the candle now as he works his way around the circuit. The leaders now make their way down the back straight. Kieran Snyman on the back wheel now as he leads out over McFadden. McFadden pressing hard on that Yamaha, trying to close down on the back there of Snyman. Snyman very late on the brakes. A great ride there from the young lad as he leads out. He goes a bit high and wide and closes up there by McFadden as they come at a fast strong corner down the ball straight.
One more lap to go when these three cross the finish line and head down into turn 1, KFM corner, and Kieran Snyman has done a 1:11.959. He is the fastest man out there, is Kieran Snyman, starting the final lap, a 1:11.959 by Kieran Snyman as they work their way up the Jabez straight towards turn 2, G-Energy. Heading now into G-Energy corner. I think Slamit has realized, final lap, I'm in P3. I'm not going to get close to McFadden and to Snyman as they work their way through the kink into Damstip with a half a lap to go.
Right, they're making their way up KFM straight towards Car Care Clinic corner. Kieran Snyman still leading out over David McFadden. They've broken away a bit there from Ronald Slamit in P3. Jared Schultz still in P4. Out of Car Care Clinic corner they come and they make their way down the back straight, and still Snyman leading out on the back wheel. Unbelievable power from that machine now as he goes down towards Fastron corner, and here comes McFadden sailing in up behind him. Well, the checkered flag is going to be beckoning, that's for sure. And McFadden's looking up on the inside. McFadden has slipped through. Can they do it? McFadden's coming up towards the line. It's going to be a drag towards the line. Here comes David McFadden and Snyman up alongside him. And Snyman takes it. Snyman takes it to McFadden. Unbelievable power from that Kawasaki over the Yamaha. Brilliant stuff there with Ronald Snyman in P3. An unbelievable finish here at the first heat of the RST Superbikes. Brilliant stuff. Jared Schultz, P4 on the first of the 600s, a great ride. Malcolm Rapson leads out over the Masters. He's going to be followed second there by Jock Ackerman. Ackerman crossing a line. And then it's going to be Brett Roberts, second of the 600s, and followed there by Donovan Lecoq. Brilliant stuff there from the riders. Next up, John Baptiste Rakapo. A win there by Snyman, 0.02 of a second. Unbelievable stuff there. David McFadden setting the fastest lap of a 1:11.8. But hats off to young Kieran Snyman. I think he has now proved his mettle to show that he can hang out with the big boys.
Wow. 0.022. 0.02 of a second separating Snyman from McFadden across the line, with Slamit finishing there in that third position. And as Francois said, Jared Schultz, the winner of the 600s, followed there by Brett Roberts in that second position. Malcolm Rapson and Jock Ackerman coming first and second in the Masters. Third in the Masters was Donovan Lecoq.
Right, folks, around the circuit, race number 2 after lunch, the RST Suzuki South Superbikes. And your pole sitter, Kieran Snyman, taking race number 1 from David McFadden and Ronald Slamit. Malcolm Rapson is there in P4, Jared Schultz in 5, Jock Ackerman there in P6. Brett Roberts finds himself there on the third row with Brett Roberts, Willem Benadel and John Baptiste Rakapo making up that row. The last row, Donovan Lecoq, Peter Haupt and Jonathan Schwerin. They roll up onto the grid proper now. And we're about to go racing. Gary Fleming fights off about 7 fellow commentators here, muscles us out the way and says, I'm going to do Superbike commentary. Gary, welcome.
Well, I watched Kieran Snyman from a distance on heat number 1 with the Missile Motorcycles ZX1, and to take on David McFadden and beat David McFadden to WPMC. You got to get up early on a Saturday morning. McFadden and Slamit alongside him on the front row of the grid, with 68 on the outside of Slamit. McFadden in the middle. Off the line they come. McFadden's the best off the line. David McFadden on that outside line, but Kieran Snyman, he gets the whole shot ahead there of McFadden as they go down into KFM corner.
Well, Gary, some interesting stuff there. David McFadden built that bike for Snyman. He says it's about time he starts working on his own machine. But have a look at those front three, and look at Jared Schultz there, taking Malcolm Repson and Jock Ackerman with him there into G-Energy corner. This time they're a lot closer. McFadden looks up on the inside of Snyman. Snyman nearly takes his front wheel off. McFadden trying to stay close, and so too is Ronald Slamet. But the man on the move there has to be Jared Schultz on the 600.
Well, Jared looked very, very good in heat number 1. He won out in the 600 class and was very, in fact, I think he ended up 4th overall in the race on the 600. So, yeah, well, P1 and P4, you can take both positions. What a whoa! Having a look up on the outside of McFadden was Slamet. Slamet was looking to go around the outside. McFadden pops up on the inside. Kieran Snyman on that outside line. He's pretty good on the brakes. McFadden does it. McFadden pulls it up on the inside line. He'll hold it just underneath the curbstones as he comes out. I personally believe that in a straight line, Snyman is a tad quicker. But look at that, he pops up on the inside line again. Now nowhere in race number 1 was McFadden capable of coming out of turn 1, coming out of Cape Town corner, pulling up alongside and then getting slightly ahead before the braking marker. I think McFadden's bike is a touch slower, but overall, McFadden's right in there.
Well, Kieran Snyman riding a real muscle bike, 5 years old in the making, and it is absolutely rock solid. That machine is purring like a kitten as McFadden rolls up behind him. Check Ronald Slamet. He's in it to win it as he sits there in P3. One slight foot wrong, and he's going to take it up with both hands. Just a second or two behind him there is Jared Schultz on the 600. He is absolutely flying on that little R6 as they make their way out of Car Care Clinic down the back straight, and once again Snyman leads out to McFadden, and here comes Slamet. Slamet sits alongside McFadden as they make their way down towards Fosterton corner. Oh, it's side by side stuff. Who's it gonna? You cannot take 3 bikes into Fosterton, Gary. It ain't gonna work.
McFadden dives up on the inside. McFadden, what a move from the apex of the corner. Pulls it up on that inside line. Can Q and Snyman fight back? Out into the front main they go. Snyman goes right towards the outside, hard up against the wall. And oh! You can't get closer than that. And Q and Snyman hits the front. Ronald Slamet, the fastest man out there. A 1:13.329.
Well, diabolical maneuvers there from Kieran Snyman as he rolled around the front of David McFadden. David must be thinking to himself, hell, young man, what are you trying to do to me? But they're still there, 3 astern, as they work their way out of G-Energy corner. Kieran Snyman leads out over David McFadden, and Ronald Slamet still in P4 as Jared Schultz at R6 working overtime. Malcolm Repson, Jacques Ackerman are all working their way through as they go down into turn number 3, make their way up the KFM straight towards Car Care Clinic, turn number 4.
Ackerman's decided he wants to play with. He's not going to let Malcolm Repson get away with this one. 0.16 of a second when they came across the line. And now it's just a straight two-way battle between the two of them for that Masters title as Suzuki GSX R1000. Look at that, going down into Cape Town corner. It's once again Kieran Snyman on the outside line, but now he breaks it and drops it down in front of McFadden. So realizing McFadden from the apex out from the bottom end of the corner coming up to the curbstone can be pretty quick. Ronald Slamet decides it's time for me to get involved in this one as well. Sticks it up on the inside. McFadden outbreaks him now. Kieran Snyman, the fastest man out there, once again dropping underneath the 1:13 and gets himself in there. McFadden goes to the front. Snyman was for some other reason slower coming out of the KFM corner, and David McFadden, the international rider, takes it away out of turn 2.
Well, I had a look there at Jacques Ackerman up behind Malcolm Repson. Repson nearly took the front wheel of Jacques' bike there. Brett Roberts pulls up behind them. Now he's coming to have joined the party. Repson rolls out through the king with Jacques Ackerman and Brett Roberts up behind them. They make their way now, the leaders, into turn number 4, Car Care Clinic corner. Out of Car Care Clinic, they come in the man and make their way down the back straight. It's going to be McFadden that leads out, and he's pulled about half a second gap over Snyman. And here comes Slamet. Slamet pressing Snyman now as they make their way down towards Car Care Clinic corner. Fosterton corner, my apologies. McFadden still leading out. Kieran Snyman goes high and wide, but dives back into the inside of the corner as they roll out of Fosterton corner, coming up towards the pedestrian bridge now. It's David McFadden leading out. And let's keep a see what's happening here. And just winds the kettle up and goes past McFadden.
Well, I tell you what, Jared Schultz must be wondering why on earth am I riding a 600. Finds himself 4.6 seconds off the front of the pack. Undoubtedly the quickest 600 out there. Brett Roberts just 3 places further back and just not able to hold on to his pace. He finds himself quick enough to stay ahead of the Masters, Malcolm Rapsam and Jacques Ackerman. 0.161 on the timer. Last lap around, it was just 0.26. So nothing much between them. It's pretty much in the slipstream between those two Masters. Brett Roberts finds himself in 7th position on the second of the two 600s out there. Then the other 3 of the 5 Masters in 8th, 9th and 10th overall, in 3rd, 4th and 5th in class. Donovan Lecoq, Willem Benadel and the older rider Peter Haupt.
Well, the riders, the leaders make their way down into fast-run corner. Snyman leads out. McFadden does a shutout on Snyman and takes the lead, and Slammer's right up behind Snyman. They come out of fast-run corner now. David McFadden, but watch the power of this machine, Gary, as Snyman just winds it up and just blows by. Unbelievable power in under that ZX10 there of Q and Snyman.
The problem for McFadden is that should he come out of turn 5 in front and Q and Snyman is all over him like a rash, he will lose the lead by the time he gets to the start-finish line. I almost think it was like a test run that Q and Snyman did on him now with 5 to go. Can I come out half a length of a bike behind you out of Cape Town corner and then beat you to the line? Yes, he can. That means McFadden's got to get a bit of a gap. He needs at least a full bike length between himself and Q and Snyman should he be leading on the last time they come out of Cape Town corner.
Let's watch now as they come out of turn number 4, Car Care Clinic corner. It's going to be McFadden leading out and Snyman up behind him. Now, McFadden needs to wind that Yamaha R1 down towards fast run corner, but look at Snyman, just pulls up behind him. McFadden manages to hold the lead and Snyman is with him. Slam it slightly off it, maybe half a second, but he's there with him. As they come out now and watch Snyman get drive coming out of fast run corner. He's going to pull up alongside McFadden. Here he comes. McFadden stays ahead, but Snyman's going to go up on the inside. He's not scared to do it and he does it properly, but watch, McFadden will try and cut back at him as he comes out of KFN corner. Snyman holds the lead now and here comes David McFadden up towards him and look at Kewen leaving the brakes exceptionally late. Dives across the apex there of G Energy corner and leads out over David McFadden with Ronald Stammer half a second behind.
David McFadden doing a high 112.7. So he has tumbled the charts just a little bit, 300ths in fact quicker than Q and Snyman on the last lap. I believe the difference between those two, the main difference between them is the gear ratios, because there's certain parts where David McFadden is quicker out of the corner, there's certain parts where Kewen is quicker out of the corner, but Kewen definitely has the top end pace. There, have a look at that, down the back straight, McFadden on the back of Snyman. If it was Snyman behind, he would have been able to make the move on Q and Snyman, but he doesn't have the power to get there, and Q and Snyman can do that exact move exactly like what was there with McFadden now, and he would get up alongside. I believe it goes down to gear ratios.
It's very possible now, but Q and Snyman pulling David. David's going to have to do a little bit of tricky through the twiddly bits to get closer to Q and Snyman. Ronald Slammett, he's probably feeling a bit of the pain in that arm of his now as he's rolling out. Snyman leads out over McFadden as McFadden closes up to him in G Energy corner. Ronald Slammett is there and thereabouts. Then it's going to be Jared Schultz in P4. Let's go back and have a look at the Masters. It's still going to be Malcolm Rapson leading out over Jacques Ackerman. Brett Roberts right up behind him. Jacques would like to get past Malcolm, and Malcolm is not going to hang around and watch.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the two of them, well, now they're 0.3 between Malcolm Rapson and Jacques Ackerman, first and second in the Masters. Willem Benadel going ahead of Donovan Lecoq to pick up that 3rd position in the Masters, and then Peter Haupt bringing up the tail end of that. Having said that, Q and Snyman goes and posts the fastest lap time, a 112.457, thinking, okay, this is all good and well. The rest of the lap, David McFadden just closes, and finds himself right on the back wheel of Q and Snyman as they come out past the bus stop into the front main.
Q and Snyman now upping the ante a little bit as he goes over the line. McFadden trying everything to stay in touch with him. That Kawasaki of Q and Snyman, stock standard, but I tell you what, it's built like a beast as it rolls out. So keep an eye there. Q and Snyman not being hassled too much. About half a second gap over McFadden. Slammett, well, he's fallen a bit by the wayside as the leaders start upping the ante. Nothing wrong with that. Slammett, the next Western Province champion. He knows how to ride around this circuit. But the machinery And the skills have upped a little bit over the years, so a lot of hard work left out there for him.
I almost get the impression that Ronald Stamets rolled a bit off the gas and said, this is crazy. We cannot keep on doing these sub-13s all along. Let's just calm it down to a mild panic with 2 to go. Keep it in a straight line and do it all right. Jared Schultz still leading out with a 600. He finds himself first in class, 4th overall. The Masters still been led out there by Malcolm Rapson from Jacques Ackerman, who's remained within 0.3 of a second all day long. He's not out of it. Will he be able to mount a challenge? I think he might still be able to. In fact, if you look at him going down the back main, Jacques Ackerman is all systems go. Jacques Ackerman all over the back of Malcolm Rapson going down to Cape Town corner.
Brilliant stuff from the leaders there as we watch Jared Schultz cross the line. Jared Schultz crosses the line. And here's now Rapson and Ackerman coming up towards us. Brett Roberts behind them. And Jacques Ackerman has got past Malcolm Rapson. Jacques Ackerman takes over the lead in the Masters as he gets past Malcolm Rapson. Brett Roberts sits up there behind them. The current time, a 1 minute 12.2 by Kieran Stoneman, is a quick lap given the current weather conditions. A little bit of a breeze around and colder temperatures. But I can assure you, we have seen quicker times as they have the checkered flag waiting.
Well, I tell you what, Kieran Snyman 3 times has gone and made it quicker. 12.2 is what he needed to do, but he has not shaken off David McFadden yet. The international racer has not given up. He does not have the additional power to pull Kieran Snyman. As long as Kieran's got the race to lose, not the race to win at this stage of the fight. They've closed right up, but I don't believe McFadden will be able to outrun him. Up towards the line they come. A brilliant race. Kieran Snyman beating out there on David McFadden. The ZX1000 Kawasaki from the Yamaha R1 been dropped towards the end there. Ronald Stamets slowed it right down, and he brings his ZX10R, the JP Markets bike. He brings that across the line. Jared Schultz in a very lonely 4th position, but winning his class. Now it all comes down to, oh, look at this towards the line. Oh, Jacques Ackerman does it. Ackerman was there and thereabouts, and he beats out on Malcolm Rapson. 100th of a second. It doesn't get any better than that. Brett Roberts coming through, 7th overall, 2nd in the 600 class. Donovan Lecoq held onto that advantage ahead of Willem van der Del. Peter Haupt coming through behind that. Comes across the line now. Wow, 1 minute 12.265. That's like 0.2 below takeoff speed. It doesn't get any quicker than that. Kieran Snyman, what a boykie. RST, Suzuki South, Superbikes. Dave Abrams, a word from you.
Incredible racing. I think that's the first time in a long time that we've seen somebody take it to David McFadden in a straight line, in a straight fight, and beat them. So, an incredible effort by Kieran Snyman, a very well prepared bike. I think Mr. McFlash will be going back to the pits and saying, what do I have to do now?